What is up, everybody? How are you doing tonight? Welcome to a very late recording of, hey, it's the NFL Guys podcast on YouTube. I just worked a 10-hour shift, so I am really super tired, but I have got to do this recap. Anyway, Jimmy Baba Ganoush, I hope I didn't wake you because I know it's super late. How did you do on your fantasy teams this week?
Pretty good. Pretty damn good, lads! Yeah!
Well, that is so good. I am so glad you had a good week. I went 6-5, I believe, on my fantasy, but I'll probably cover that a little bit more tomorrow. When I do the week 7 picks. But anyway, let's get to the recap of week 6 of the NFL. We're going to start with the Thursday night game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 28-22. Tom Brady went 34 for 42 for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette, 22 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts for the Eagles, 12 for 26, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, and he also had 10 rushes for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Jalen Hurts had a really good game, and it was a close game. They almost beat Tampa Bay, but almost only counts in checkers and Uno. And now the Bucs are playing the Bears this week, and let me tell you, Bears are not beating the Buccaneers like they did last year. You can get that out of your head, because that isn't going to happen. Moving on, we have the London game that was early Sunday morning. Yep, which, oh my God, I just don't believe it. The Jaguars won their first game against the Miami Dolphins 23-20. I saw the ending of the game. Big field goal towards the end. Trevor Lawrence, 25 for 41. 319 yards, 1 touchdown. James Robinson, 17 carries for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Marvin Jones had 7 catches for 100 yards and 1 touchdown. On the Dolphins side, Tua, he went 33 for 47, 329 and 2 touchdowns. He had a pretty good game. Jalen Waddle had a really good game. 10 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, 8 catches for 115 yards. Another very close game, and the Eagles played really good. I turned this game on from watching the fantasy show. I think I turned it on and watched from halftime on, and from what I saw, it was a really good game. So congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars for winning your first game. The Vikings defeated the Panthers 34-28. Kirk Cousins went 33 for 48 for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, nice to see him back. Big day, 29 carries for 140 yards and 1 touchdown. Adam Thielen had 11 catches for 126 yards and 1 touchdown. Sam Darnold, or was it 2 touchdowns? I think it was 2 touchdowns. Sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting. Sam Darnold went 17 for 41 for 207 and a touchdown. Chubb Hubbard had 16 carries, 61 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Robbie Anderson had a touchdown in this game. Even though he only had 3 catches for 11 yards, he had a big touchdown in this game. And the Vikings did it once again, where the Panthers led and the Vikings went down there and they won on a touchdown. It's unbelievable how this Viking team comes from behind and wins the game. Christian McCaffrey obviously didn't play in this game. rumors he was ready to go, but now it's like they're going to push him back another week. I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. I hope so. I just picked him up in an NFL trade, but like I said, I will talk about that tomorrow. The Ravens defeated the Chargers 34-6. The Chargers only scored 6 points?
What the fuck happened? Hey!
Exactly. What happened? What happened in that game? Like, I was turning on during commercials, and I'm just like, how is the Chargers playing this bad? Lamar Jackson went 19 for 27 for 167 yards and 1 touchdown. Mark Andrews had 5 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Hollywood Brown had 4 catches for 35 yards. A very quiet game from him. Justin Herbert, 22 for 39 for 195 and 1 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, where was he at? 6 carries for 7 yards. Keenan Allen, 5 catches for 50 yards. Austin Eckler, 4 catches for 48 yards. And Mike Williams, another dud, 2 catches for 27 yards. And let me talk a little bit about Michael Williams. I'm done with him. I'm done with you, Mike Williams. I traded you in a big blockbuster trade. I'm dropping him on my Yahoo if I can't find trade offers for him. Like, I'm done with him for the rest of the year. Don't think I'm going to draft you next year. I'm just done. Like, so done with Mike Williams. Like, just again, like, I was playing my friend in my ESPN league, and Mike Williams had 4 fantasy points, and Mike Evans even had like 4 or 5 fantasy points. I'm like, I just, you know what? And I even traded Mike Evans because I'm like, I'm done with Mike Evans too, because I'm like, there's too many mouths to feed in Tampa, between Fournette, between Goodwin, between, you know, Gronk when he comes back, OJ Howard, and it's like, it's just unbelievable. And I'm like, I'm done with Mike Evans. I'm done with Mike Williams. I don't want him on my team anymore. Moving on, the Rams defeated the Giants 38-11, and I know they're really banged up, the Giants, but still, Giants fans were like,
this is bullshit.
Exactly. You know, I didn't know, like, the Giants wasn't going to win, New York fans. You know, you've got to already, you know, come to reality with no Saquon, no Kenny Galladay. Matt Stafford went 22 for 28 for 251 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh my God. Darrell Henderson, big game. He had a really decent game. 21 carries for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp, you know, big as always. 9 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Robert Woods, 2 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones, 21 for 51, 242, and 3 interceptions. Ooh, not good. Sterling Shepard came back and had 10 catches for 76 yards. But yeah, this Giants offense is just banged up big time. I don't see the Giants winning too many games this year. The Colts defeated the Texans 31-3 in a huge blowout. Carson Wentz, 11 for 20 for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, huge game for him. 14 carries for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ty Hilton, 4 catches for 80 yards. Nice to see him back and have a good game. David Mills went 29 for 43 for 243 yards. 2 big interceptions. And Brandon Cooks, 9 catches for 89 yards. And then now the Texans is back to that offense where the offense stinks and the Colts just annihilate them. Chiefs beat the Washington football team 31-13. Patrick Mahomes went 32 for 47 for 397 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derek Williams stepping in for Clyde Hilaire had 21 carries for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Travis Kelce had 8 catches for 99 yards. Tyreek Hill, 9 catches for 76 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyler Heineke went 24 for 39 for 182 yards and a touchdown. And Terry McLaurin, where was he at this weekend? 4 catches and 28 yards? Wow. Like, Terry McLaurin didn't even make a scratch on this field. Oh boy, the game I really don't want to talk about. Packers defeated the Bears 24-14. Aaron Rodgers went 17 for 23 for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. Davante Adams, 4 catches for 89 yards. Justin Fields went 16 for 27 for 174 yards and 1 touchdown. And Khalil Herbert, decent game for his first start. 19 carries for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. And let me tell you, Justin Fields was playing decent. Khalil Herbert had a really nice game, but it was like the Bears were playing so good in the first half. And then in the second half, they just fell apart. I don't understand what happened. Like, the play calling by Nagy was just so good in the first half. And then the second half, it just fell apart. I don't have any questions. And then the whole, like, Aaron Rodgers, I own you bullshit. Yeah, whatever. We're going into Green Bay and wiping our asses on your field. We're going to beat you in Green Bay. Just take a note of that. Grandma Baba Ganoush, I know you're a diehard Bears fan. What do you think about that whole Aaron Rodgers, I own you? What do you got to say to Aaron Rodgers?
Fuck you, you asshole!
Exactly. There you go. Bears are playing Tampa Bay, and let me tell you, that is not going to be a pretty game. Bengals defeated the Lions 34-11, and once again, the Lions lose this past week. Exactly. I feel you on that one. Joe Burrow went 19 for 29 for 271 yards, 3 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, he ended up playing. They said he was going to be out of the game, but it sounded like he ended up playing this game. He had 18 carries for 94 yards. Jamar Chase, another good game, 4 catches for 97 yards. Jared Goff, 28 for 42 for 202. DeAndre Swift, 13 carries for 24 yards. Like, DeAndre Swift, man, he has really not taken off this year. And he's supposed to be the Lions' main running back? Come on. TJ Hawkinson, 8 catches for 74 yards. So, yeah, the Lions being the Lions. Cardinals defeated the Browns 37-14. Kyler Murray went 20 for 30 for 229 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh my God. James Conner had 16 carries for 71 yards. AJ Green had 5 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. Christian Kirk had a decent game, 5 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. And DeAndre Hopkins had 3 catches for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield went 19 for 28 for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt had 14 carries for 66 yards. And Donovan Peoples-Jones, I am totally picking him up on my fantasy team. Huge game, 4 catches, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Really nice to see him have a really nice game. The Cowboys defeated the Panthers. The Patriots 35-29. Dak Prescott went 36 for 51 for 445 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott 17 carries for 69 yards. CeeDee Lamb, big game by CeeDee Lamb, 9 catches for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mac Jones went 15 for 21 for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Damian Harris had 18 carries, 101 yards and a touchdown. A really good win by them. And nobody's talking about the Cowboys. Like, they're playing really good this year, but Dak got hurt in this game, so I don't know how long he's going to miss, if he's going to miss any time at all. Raiders defeated their arch rival, the Denver Broncos, 34-24. Derek Carr went 18 for 27 for 341 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. And Henry Ruggs, 3 catches for 97 yards and 1 touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater went 35 for 49 for 334 yards and 3 touchdowns and 3 huge interceptions. Noah Fant had a really good game, 9 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 8 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. You know what? I traded for Cortland Sutton, and I think Mike Williams and Mike Evans was in that trade also. And I got McCaffrey and Darrell Henderson. But I'll talk about that tomorrow because I can't remember offhand who else was in that trade. And Tim Patrick, 3 catches for 42 yards and 1 touchdown. So it's nice to see the Raiders get a win with their new coach. The Steelers defeated the Seahawks 23-20 in overtime. And I'm just like, wait a minute. I didn't see this game. But I'm just like, really? It took overtime to beat the Geno Smith Seahawks? Okay, whatever, Pittsburgh. Big Ben went 29 for 40 for 229 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris had 24 carries for 81 yards, Chase Claypool, 2 catches for 17 yards. Really? Juju Smith-Schuster is out for the year. And how is Chase Claypool not blowing up in this game? I was done with him too. I'm done with him too. He's not doing anything this year. Deontay Johnson seems like he's the number 1 receiver for the Steelers. 9 catches for 71 yards. Geno Smith, 23 for 32 for 209 yards and 1 touchdown. Alex Collins had 20 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown. He had a really good game stepping in for Chris Carson. DK Metcalf, 6 catches for 58 yards, and Tyler Lockett, 2 catches for 35 yards. What? Where was Lockett and Metcalf on this? Jeez, this game. Now we're moving on to the Monday night game, which I am really shocked this outcome was this way. But the Titans defeated the Bills 34-31.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I am dead serious, Russell Westbrook. I am dead serious. I can't believe it either. Josh Allen, he had 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders had 5 catches for 91 yards, and Stephon Diggs had 9 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill, 18 for 29 for 216 yards. And Derrick Henry, 3 touchdowns on 20 carries for 143 yards. Oh my God, Derrick Henry is just a beast. You got to consider him as MVP. A.J. Brown and Julio Jones both played. A.J. Brown had 7 catches for 91 yards, and Julio Jones 3 catches for 59 yards. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the recap for Week 6 in the NFL. And this is how I did on my picks for this week. I went 9-5. I won on the Buccaneers. I won on the Ravens, the Rams, Colts, Chiefs, Packers, Bengals, Cowboys, and Steelers. But I lost on the Dolphins. I lost on the Panthers. I lost on the Browns. I lost on the Broncos, and I lost on the Bills. So yeah, so I went 9-5 on my picks this week, and I'm overall 48-30. Now my 3 players to shine in fantasy football, where I pick a quarterback, wide receiver, and running back. And predict how many fantasy points they're going to have in fantasy football and come within 5 points. Well, for the quarterback, I picked Carson Wentz. I predicted he was going to have 26 fantasy points this week, but he ended up having 17, so I missed it by 9. For the wide receiver, I went with Tim Patrick. I predicted he was going to have 21 points, and he actually had 13 fantasy points on ESPN. I missed it by 8, and this is unbelievable. This is my almost got it one, the closest I think I came. I picked Kansas City Chiefs running back Darrell Williams to have 24 fantasy points. He ended up having 23, and I missed it by 1 point. Unbelievable. Now my 3 bold predictions where I guessed on, try to guess if I can guess the predictions right for 3 of them. For number 3, I predicted the Chargers and Ravens were both going to be in the 40s. Yeah, not even close. 34-6 was the final. The Ravens almost got to 40, but nowhere near close 40 for the Chargers. I predicted Joe Burrow was going to have 300 yards or more and 3 touchdowns. Well, I did pretty good. I got close. Joe Burrow had 271 yards, and he did have the 3 touchdowns. And I predicted the Giants was going to score 0 points. Well, I kind of came close. They actually had 11. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And then we are going to look at the NFL standings. We're going to start in the AFC East, where the Bills is leading the division 4-2. The Chargers, even though that bad loss to the Ravens, they are tied with the Raiders for first place at 4-2, with the Broncos and Chiefs tied for second place at 3-3. The AFC North, well, the Ravens have a really nice lead in that division, but the Bengals are starting to creep up a little bit. The Ravens lead the division 5-1. The Bengals are 4-2. The AFC South, the Titans are ahead of this division 4-2, with the Colts at 2-4, and both the Texans and Jaguars at 1-5. Now moving on to the NFC, the Cowboys as an easy first place lead in the NFC East at 5-1, with the Washington football team tied for second place with the Eagles at 2-4, and the Giants at last place at 1-5. In the NFC West, the Cardinals are leading the division 6-0. The Rams are 5-1. What a battle between the Cardinals and the Rams. The NFC North, well, the Packers are leading that division pretty easily at 5-1, with the Vikings and Bears tied for second place at 3-3, and the Lions winless in last place. And then the last division, the NFC South, the Buccaneers are leading the division at 5-1, but the Saints and Panthers are creeping up. They are at 3-2 for the Saints and 3-3 for the Panthers. Okay, now we can move on to the player. Hey, it's the NFL Guys podcast, Player of the Week. So it could have been gone to a player, but I am going to go with an actual team. Jimmy Baba Ganoush, hit that drum roll, please. So, it's the NFL Guys Player of the Week, I went with the Jacksonville Jaguars for winning their first game. Congratulations, Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, for winning your first game as a Jacksonville Jaguar. Now we're going to move on to not the player of the week, but basically a team or player who maybe should have stayed in bed and had some extra toast and watched some extra episodes of SpongeBob and Blue's Clues and did a whole marathon of Adventure Time. So, congratulations to the Chargers offense for only scoring 6 points and being, hey, maybe you should stayed in bed and relax a little bit longer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the last set of news we are going to run through is we are going to run over some injury news coming out of week 6. All right. Antonio Gibson was in and out of the game with a stress fracture in his hip. No timetable so far with him, if he's going to play, if he's going to miss some weeks. Ty Hilton, he left in the second half of the game with a quad injury. I mean, rumors is he might miss 1 to 3 weeks, and I feel so bad for Ty Hilton. Like, he just came back off an injury, and now he's going back on the injury list. Paris Campbell, he's got a foot injury. There's no timetable how long he's going to miss. Baltimore Ravens running back Latavius Murray had a high ankle sprain, so he could possibly, rumors, miss 2 to 3 weeks with that injury. Kadarius Toney hurt his ankle, and it seems like he could miss a few weeks. Kareem Hunt had a really serious calf strain, and there's rumors, and he left on the cart, there's rumors that Kareem Hunt can miss 4 to 6 weeks. And that's a big blow for me because I believe even Nick Chubb's even got hurt in this game. Baker Mayfield, he hurt his shoulder. His shoulder was in a sling. But give it up to Baker Mayfield, man. His arm was a sling, and he's still going to play through the injury. Odell Beckham suffered a AC joint sprain, so there's no timetable if he's going to miss any time. Dak Prescott strained his calf. No idea if he's going to miss any time or if he's going to play the next game. And then Alex Collins, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks, suffered a hip injury. So they do have 8 days of rest before they play Monday night. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your Week 6 NFL recap, and like always, I will do my Week 7 picks for the NFL tomorrow night. It's late. I kind of want to lay down and watch a few things before I go to bed and unwind. So until tomorrow, take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.